auditioning. Thug number one, thug number two.
Slaves.
Prostitute.
There's always the hustle.
Literate basketball players.
Mary had a little lamb.
The thug.
The only narrative that they understand of black life is drug addict, drug dealer, gang member.
I was the hottest black actor in the world after Boys and I. There were people clamoring to work with this young sensation as long as he did the roles they wanted him to do, which were street kids.
I had been in this thing that is a masterpiece of American cinema, and nobody gave a shit. They really didn't give a fuck.
I auditioned for my first pimp part. My mother's all proud. You know, be the best pimp you can be. The whole church is praying for me.
Let's pray that Brother Robert gets the role of Silky Good Dick. The film is called Holes on the Stroll. It sounds like a musical.
And then that's when the filmmaker was born. I said, man, we can't let Hollywood tell our stories. We have to tell our own stories. They'll make us do anything and everything. And images travel around the world.
They have a perception of us that ultimately is false.
What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on SHEEPSTAYSLEEPTV. Shout out to everybody who support the platform, man. Much love. Salute to everybody that's in the building right now. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. Salute, salute, salute. Shout out to the A-Game family. Salute to all of the visionaries, man. Salute to all the visionaries out there. We back here on SHEEPSTAYSLEEPTV. Shout out to the A-Game Nation. Much love, much love. Shout out to Queen of C. Much love to you, Queen of C. Good to see you once again. She says, salute Sheep and everyone else in the chat. I'm ready for another one. Salute, Queen of C. I appreciate the love and the support. Appreciate the love and the support, mamas. Type in the chat so I can I could give you a no, I don't have to. I could give you a wrench right now. There you go. I appreciate the support, Queen of C. But shout out to everybody that's tuned in right now. If you are here, make sure you like the stream. Make sure you share the stream. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you share the stream. Those are the first two ways you support the show. You like the show, you share the show. After that, this is your first time here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I drop some new content right here on SHEEPSTAYSLEEPTV. And if you haven't yet, make sure you go and grab you a copy of the first issue of the Black Manosphere magazine. It is in the pinned comment section. Make sure you go ahead and grab you a copy if you haven't yet. Salute to everyone who has supported our first issue. Much love to y'all, man. Much love. And make sure y'all also go and check out my latest pre-record I just dropped, where I spoke on a brother named Carlton Roman, who just received exoneration after 32 years of being wrongfully accused. That's very important for us to know, because that's a lot of that stuff is going on. But, you know, a lot of us are consumed with a lot of the things that they want us to be consumed with. So we don't even know that there's a lot of black men being exonerated from false charges. There's a lot of black men coming home after being in jail for decades. And I think that stuff needs to be spoken about in this space because that's important. You know, brothers coming home from the 70s, brothers coming home from the 80s. They coming home. Peace to the God King. Shout out to Shango Zulu on the check-in. Shout out to Queen of C. She said, yes, I Googled the Angola 3 too. Wow. Appreciate that. And you see exactly what I was speaking about, right? You see exactly what I was speaking about. Which is why we need to speak on that, brothers, because there's a lot of us brothers who are just thrown away in prison, man. Just thrown away. In the 70s and the 80s, there was a lot of, even in the 90s, there's a lot of brothers who the police just picked up off the streets and threw cases on them. Threw cases on them. A lot of them dudes did 20, 30 years. A lot of them brothers are coming home now after 40 years, 50 years. You know? So that's something that, you know, we don't need to dismiss or act like it's not going on. Brothers, we have to focus on the things that's important to us. And that's why it's great that you go and get the magazine, because in the magazine, we outline those 10 key issues. Yeah, the 60s too. Can't forget the 60s. Can't. That's true. That's true. Because, you know, a lot of those brothers, you know, a lot of the brothers from the Nation of Gods and Earths, which is the 5% nation, a lot of those brothers was taken out in the 70s. A lot of those brothers was taken out in the 70s and in the 80s. Some of them even in the 60s, like the original ones. So you're right about that, Shango Zulu. We can't forget about that. But see, what we speaking about, brothers, is the constant threat of extinction. That is a problem for black men. The constant threat of extinction. At any time, we could lose our lives, man. At any time, just walking down the street. It's just that simple. You know, like I spoke about in the video, it happened to one of my best friend's fathers. You know, he was missing his dad for 20 years of his life. For trumped up charges, corrupt police, you know, with the witnesses lying and being paid to tell lies. All of this stuff is true. Because see, after what got my, you know, I call him my brother, but what got my brother Pops out of prison was, of course, he wrote thousands of letters. Him and his co-D, they wrote thousands of letters, but what ultimately got him off was the original witness who lied turned around and told that she lied on those brothers on her deathbed. She was dying. And right before she passed away, she let the police know that her testifying against those men back in the day was all lies, and that the police actually paid her off in drugs for her to lie on those brothers. And that's what, you know, eventually freed him, freed both of those brothers. And one of those brothers, my pops went to school with. My pops went to school with. So this is some real stuff, man. So make sure y'all go and check out that video. And it also ties into today's topic. Shout out to my brother, the Bishop, in the building. Salute. It ties into today's topic. Shout out to my brother, Sir O. Today's topic, should we throw in the towel? Should we throw in the towel, brothers? After what y'all just saw in the intro video, those black men fought to get to where they are today. So now, when it comes to our generation, it's time for us to throw in the towel. So all the stuff Malcolm did, John Henry Clark, all of our great leaders, Marcus Garvey, Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Mutulu Shakur, Fred Hampton, all of our intellectuals. Rest in peace to Dr. Runoko Rashidi. He just passed away. Runoko Rashidi, Tony Browder, all of these brothers, Phil Valentine, all of these brothers, man. All of these brothers. So now it's supposed to stop with them. See, this is why I say we got to heal before we build, brothers, because we cannot think that it's okay to abort the same mission that saved our own asses. I don't understand. How could brothers choose to abort the mission that got us here? It was guys like Martin Luther King. It was guys like Malcolm and a myriad of other guys, which is why black men could sit on YouTube right now and speak their piece. Do you know that I can sit here and speak to you, brothers, because of our ancestors? Because they didn't throw in the towel. How many years ago was Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Khalid Muhammad? How many years ago that was? So you mean to tell me if the brothers chose to stop once Khalid got killed, once Malcolm got killed, if those brothers decided to stop once Fred Hampton got killed and everybody else went to jail and died, how could there be a black manosphere? How could there be a black manosphere? How could there be a space, or where would the energy come from if we didn't have those men? This energy of black men need their own space. Black men need to carve out their own existence. Where do that come from? You think that come out of you thought that came out of your head? No, that's in your DNA through your ancestors. That's why you took the stance that you decided to take. Because it's in you. That's why I keep telling y'all it has to be in you, not on you. You see? Because the fight could have stopped a long time ago. A long time ago. The fight could have been ended. Could have been ended. It could have been ended. So now we gonna throw in the towel. So where that leaves our great grandsons. Huh? Where does that leave them? See, part of the reason why I am who I am and I take the stance that I take is because of the men who preceded me. My father, his father, his father, his father, and his father. My mother and her father, and his father, and his father, and his father, and his father. That's how you got me. The same cause that I stand for, my grandfather stood for. Both of my grandfathers believed in black male agency and black male independence and doing for self. My grandfather civilized my family on my mother's side. He gave my family knowledge of self. A man did this. A man. That's how we understand what we understand today. Because of my grandfather. Who was in the street doing what he got to do. At that time, that's what the men did. But he also gave the men knowledge of self. Who you are, black man. He taught us this. This was passed down to me. You see? So, brothers, look at your life, especially you brothers who claim you're from the struggle, who claim you're from the school of hard knocks, right? All you brothers. How could you say we should throw in the towel, man? Somebody threw in the towel with you, bro? If there was no men, stand-up men to say, listen, these young black boys out here, they need a father figure. They need direction. Where would you be, bro? Where would you be? See, this is why I take what I say here on my platform serious. Because it's real for me. Black male agency it's not a joke. It's not a internet moniker. It is not something to draw in a crowd of people. It's not a catchphrase. It's not a cliche. It's actually something I was taught. I was raised on this stuff. And a lot of people say they raised on it, but how many of us actually live it? See, because you could be raised on something, and when you get older, you could totally rebel against it. I never did. I embraced it. As I got older, I went closer to it. Because the closer I went to it, the more I understood who I was and understood the kind of men that I come from. You see? I don't come from quitters. And black men, there is no quitting in us. If there was quitting in us, why are we still here? They've done everything to get rid of us, but we still here. We still here. So if the people who came before us didn't throw in the towel, why should we? Why should we? So we don't have nothing to fight for anymore? There's nothing to fight for. So there's nothing to fight for. So why did somebody fight for you? Why did somebody fight for you? Because I noticed a lot of goofy talking points. And I'm like, that don't even make no sense. Like, how you gonna say you don't care about black children, but you was a black child who was a have-not? You was a black child that actually grew up in the system. So somebody had to care about your ass. You see? Somebody had to care about your black ass. That same little black boy that you were, that was eating out the trash, who didn't know when their next bath was coming. Somebody had to care about that. Somebody had to have compassion for your situation. Somebody had to care about your ass. Oh, so somebody's supposed to care about you, but not care about nobody else. Somebody took you in, but nobody's supposed to take nobody else in. And see, we have to understand, brothers, this type of foolish mentality equates to nothing. It builds nothing. It builds nothing. It will not stand against anything. It won't. It will not. You know why they want you to quit? So then, like they always do, they could say, well, it wasn't us. He quit. I didn't tell him to quit. And then what does that do for the next generations of black men? What happens to them? What happens to your little nephew that's going to be graduating high school in the year 2030? See, are you thinking about how society's going to be then? Do you care about the state of black men in the next 10 years? We know a whole lot could change in 10 years. What are you going to do about this? You going to throw in the towel? You just going to sit back and just let shit happen? If you sit back and just let shit happen, then guess what that means? Guess what that means? That means that you're not red pill. You see? And if you notice, nobody's speaking about the red pill no more. You notice everybody's shh. Don't mention red pill. Don't mention red pill. Don't say nothing about the red pill. You know, the red pill, you know, that's irrelevant. When everybody was just red pill crazy a couple of months ago. Go back a couple of months. Red pill crazy. Red pill, red pill, red pill, red pill, red pill. See, I know why you stop talking about the red pill, because the red pill to you was just a cliche. It was a way for you to draw people in, when actually being red pill is a way of life. Being red pill is a lifestyle. You see, it's a lifestyle. Being red pill is a lifestyle. This is why here on this chart, as you can see, here's the real red pill men right here. Red pill men are about what? Agency. Agency. Healing and having agency. That is what we are supposed to be promoting in this space. And guess what? We know that this is not a battle. It's a war. What is it a war on, DS1? It's a war based on principalities. See, I understand that's another reason why y'all wanted to stop claiming red pill too. Y'all give me 1 second. Okay, we back. Now, with all our examples of freedom fighters, if we throw in the towel, then that means all the work of those black men go in vain. It will go in vain if we throw in the towel. All of the work would be in vain. Even all of the work that was done in this space will be in vain. Brothers, we can't live like that. We can't live. We cannot be doing things just for doing things' sake. That's weak. I'ma just do something just to say I did it. But what did it produce? You see? Everybody wants to classify the black manosphere. Black manosphere 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. That's cool. That's cool. Shout out to Queen of C for doubling up. Appreciate you, love. She says, speak, sheep. Wake them up. That's what I'm here to do, baby girl. Much love to you. Shout out to Young Manhood in the building. A-Game Nation. And I noticed that when guys speak on the different classifications of the space, they always try to say, well, this group was about this, that group was about. One thing I noticed after y'all go from this group, 1.0 did this, 2.0 did this, 3.0 didn't do this, or what is 4.0 gonna do, or we're gonna have a 5.0, all of this stuff, right? When we need to cut the faction bullshit out. Because see, that's what's making dudes say, man, this ain't nothing, man. Let's just move on from this, man. Because brothers are afraid of order. Brothers are afraid of a hierarchy. But we sit up here and we talk about who outranks who, what man ranks higher than this man on this scale, and this and that and this and that. But when it's time to create a hierarchy for this space and for how things are supposed to roll and how things are supposed to go, now it's a problem. Now we should just throw in the towel. Why? Because you don't want no order? Why is it gonna work now? Why helping black men don't mean nothing now? Why? Why? Because it's not paying you enough? Huh? It's not paying you enough? No, I know what it is. You're afraid of order. You're afraid to be outranked. You see? Because when it comes down to actually doing the work the correct way, it's a different story then. So now let's throw in the towel. No, that's why you have systems, order, and structure. So that way, when you're gone, the system continues. The structures still remain. Just like today, we still echo the sentiments of Malcolm. We still echo the sentiments of Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey. We have a brother here right now in this space and been in this space for years that comes from the teachings of Garvey, a black freedom fighter, not a black coon. Okay? Not Charlemagne the God. Okay? Not Sheriff David Clark, but a black man who studied under a man who was under Marcus Garvey. This is a man who knows can't throw in the towel on black men. The men who learned up under Garvey, after Garvey died and passed on, they could have thrown in the towel. They could have thrown in the towel. But no, they kept teaching. They kept teaching. They kept teaching. Because that's what black men supposed to do. We supposed to teach. We're supposed to teach. That's what we supposed to do. You can't say you a thinking black man and you can't teach nobody nothing. that means you're not a thinking black man. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. Because everybody don't have the skills to teach. But that's what we come from. We come from intellectuals. We come from freedom fighters. That's what we come from. You see, the red pill will not allow you to throw in the towel. If you took the goddamn red pill, it won't allow you to throw in the towel. It won't allow you to. It won't allow you to. Because if that's the case, then why do we have the brothers that we have today? Huh? Why? Why do we have a Dr. Cornel West? Huh? Why do we still have these brothers around? Why do we have a Dr. Spencer Holman? Why? They could have threw in the towel. They got money. They don't need black men for nothing. Contrary to popular belief, they don't need black men for nothing. They don't need to use black men to feed their family. They don't have to do that. They don't have to do that. You see? They don't have to do it. But if we didn't have Garvey, and the people who were under Garvey didn't have Garvey, then we wouldn't have what we have. We wouldn't have a Malcolm if it wasn't for the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. We wouldn't have Malcolm. Whether you agree with it or not. Okay? Let's not get into the, into politics. Whether you agree with it or not. We wouldn't have Malcolm. There'll be no Malcolm. Okay? If it was not for the Nation of Islam, you will not know Malcolm X. There will be no El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. Whether you like it or not, that's the facts. Okay? Without the nation, you won't have Khalid Abdul Muhammad. We don't care about your gripes with the nation. Without them, you won't have Khalid. You won't have Malcolm. Okay? Understand that. Understand that. We're not talking about the religious part. Let's talk about what the men done. Let's talk about what Martin Luther King done. Forget if he was from a Baptist goddamn church. Because you know who else was in the goddamn church? If you do some history, the Deacons of Defense. Go and look them up. Go and look them up. If you think all church people are the same, go and look up the Deacons of Defense. Do your history. If you do your history, you'll have something to be proud of. This was the whole reason for me doing Black History Month series on my channel. It was for young brothers. And it also, I learned a lot doing it myself. But it was for younger brothers to give them something to be proud of. So you can understand what you repping. Okay, I'm a GD, right? Not me. Cause y'all will start saying, oh, DS1, he just admitted. No, it's an example. Now, let's say I'm a GD, right? Now, in the streets, I'm being told that I'm a gangster disciple. But when I go and read my doctrine, I am told to promote growth and development. How long has the chairman been in prison? How long has the chairman, Larry Hoover, how long has he been in prison? What, about going on 40 years damn near? 30 years? If those brothers, right? Matter of fact, look at what throwing in the towel has done. Look at what throwing in the towel has done. Them brothers threw in the towel and said, we not pushing growth and development no more. We gangsters. We gangsters. We gangsters. Now, what has that done to the streets? There's GDs everywhere. I hope y'all know that. But specifically, what has it done to the homeland? Look at what throwing in the towel has done. Brothers threw in the towel. That's why these young boys can't stop killing. They'll kill your mama. They'll kill your baby. You know why? Because brothers threw in the towel. They aborted the mission. They abandoned it. Forgetting that it's young men out there. Forgot that part. Forgot that part. And what was those young men left to do? What were they left to do? Because brothers threw in the damn towel. What were they left to do? Pillage. Pillage their environment. Why? Because brothers threw in the towel. Brothers threw in the towel. A lot of them older dudes, they left. Not saying that they wasn't supposed to. Because I'm not sitting here demonizing brothers for leaving. If that's what you want to do, that's your choice. But see, I'm here to give a certain perspective. Okay, throw in the towel and then what? And then what? Because that same shit that you abandoning is the same thing you got to come back to. You know why? Because your mama's still there. You know why? Because your grandmama's still there. Your children are there. So what are you leaving? You abandoning yourself. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Because your families is still in this environment. They're still suffering with the illnesses that come from practicing a backward value system. Now, am I telling you to go into the hood and play Robin Hood and go and rescue your family? No. 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 But don't you want to stop your little cousins that's 2-3 years old, that's living in the projects now, don't you want them to have a better life? Because you grew up with his mama. And his mama's still in the projects with him. You see? So don't you want a better life for your little cousins and your little nephews and all of that? How are you going to play a part in it? By just saying what not to do? How about being part of the goddamn change? How about that? How about that? Because throwing in the towel is something that black men are used to doing already. Come on. But if it wasn't for the brothers who decided to not throw in the towel, where will we be now? Who even gave us the concept of separating from the palm colored folk? Who told us that we're to identify ourselves? Who taught us this? But our black freedom fighters, our ancestors, who didn't give up, who had it 20 times worse than us. They didn't give up. Because some of our freedom fighters, man, they could have went and sold out, you know, and just went on about their business and got their money and let black people suffer. You know how many black men sacrificed? Fred Hampton could have went. Huey could have went and been talking to colleges. You see, later on, that's what Bobby Seale started doing. And I'm not saying nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is they could have did that from the beginning. They could have said, well, listen, this is how I'm going to give back. They didn't have to stand on them front lines. They didn't have to do that. But you know why they did it? They did it to show us that they care. They did that to prove to us that it just wasn't about a check, that they cared. And that's why they never threw in the towel. Because they knew 20, 30 years from then that there'll be a DS1. There'll be a Book of Ronan. There'll be the Bishop. There'll be a Young Manhood. There'll be an Ebo Sosa. There'll be a Dr. Holman. They knew this stuff. This is why they never gave up. This is why the men who were taught by those men, that's why they never gave up. Because they could have gave up too. They could have took the information that they got from them brothers, went and got a bag and went and sat down somewhere with their family. And said, man, I'm not with all this. I'm not with all of this stuff. I'm going to use my talent, go get my money, and mind my business. But then where would that leave us? You see? That would have destroyed our voice that we have here today in the black manosphere. We wouldn't have had the courage to stand up and say, yo, we separating from those guys. We're going to create our own thing. You think you got that out the clear blue sky, brothers? You think you came up with that? No, there was generations of black men who did that. Generations of us. Who birthed that spirit in you to say, no, we could do this ourselves. We our own agency. Where you think that came from? You think that came from a bunch of men who said, well, you know, it's not looking too good. Malcolm got death threats every day. Malcolm got death threats every day. He didn't throw in the towel. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, death threats, attempts on his life. He ain't throwing the towel. John Henry Clark ain't throwing the towel. Dr. Ben didn't throw in the towel. Oh, but we should throw in the towel. And what does that tell your sons when they see you throwing the towel? What does that tell him? What does that tell your grandson? What does that tell them? Because when they get older, they're going to talk about you. They're going to talk about you and what they learned listening and watching you. And if they grow up and be goddamn quitters and somebody asks them, hey, why you quit everything you do? I learned it from my dad. That's what you want your son to say? That's what you want your son to say? Because that's what you're teaching them. That's trust and believe, brothers. Young brothers are watching us. They're watching us. And guess what? If they're not watching us now, they'll be watching us years from now. Imagine the comments under your live streams 3 to 5 years from now, brothers, when you got young brothers who are just catching up to the information that we teaching now. And all they hear is a bunch of black men talking about, well, ain't nothing we could do, you know, it done got too far. It done went too far. But then we get up here as older grown men and demonize younger brothers when at the end of the day, they out here trying to figure it out by them goddamn selves because you Negroes want to quit. But then you sit up here and talk about Lil Nas X and why these young boys dress the way they dress and why they do what they do. Because you ain't around. That's why. You ever thought about that? You want to know why he want to be a ballerina? Because you ain't around. You ain't around. You ever thought about that? Because his mama gonna tell him he could be whatever the hell he want to be. Because mama gonna always love you. See, that's what your mama gonna tell you. But your daddy gonna tell you, hey, listen. God made you a man. You better act like one. And you better show up like one. See, your mom ain't gonna tell you that. Your mama gonna say, I love you, son. And if that's what you want to do, you know mama gonna ride with you. So if you the kind of dude that's a quitter, your mama gonna say, well, son, you tried your best. you don't want these things to kill you, son, because you don't want to make your life hard, because life is supposed to be happy. That's what your mama gonna tell you when you're like throwing in the towel, when you're like giving up. It's okay. It's okay, son. But it's not okay because you feel bad. See, if you're a true competitor, you don't feel good about quitting. Oh, no. Oh, no. You don't feel good about quitting. You don't feel good about losing, but you damn sure don't feel good about quitting. Quitting is not even in your vocabulary. Quitting is not supposed to be in a black man's lexicon. Quitting? Quit? You mean quilt? Quit. It's not an option, brothers. You know why? Because we are our own agency. So quitting is not an option. It's not an option. Because guess what? If you quit, you automatically fail. And see, a lot of y'all think, well, hey, if I quit, then nobody could say I took a loss. No, when you quit, that is the definition of actually losing. That is a quitter is the equivalent of a loser. See, just because you took some L's in life, brothers, don't mean you're a loser. You're a loser when you quit. You're a loser when you throw in the towel. You a loser when you abort the mission. That's when you a loser. That's when you a loser, because you feel and you know you don't have it in you. You don't have it in you to continue. That's what makes you a loser. Not competing and taking the loss. What makes you a loser is when you throw in the towel. That's when you're a loser. Because you admitting to being a loser because you quit. Because you quit. I don't come from that. I don't come from that cloth. I'm not from those ilk of men. We rather die on our feet than live on our knees. That's where I come from. We make it happen. We make it happen. We make it happen. There's no quitting. There's no throwing in no towel. Only time you better throw my big ass a towel if you see me sweating. You see me sweating, throw me a towel. Towels go in the dirty clothes. They go in the hamper. We don't throw in towels over here in the A-game family. We don't throw in towels. No. We don't throw in towels. We not quitters. Because we understand that the marathon continues. Now, how the hell is the marathon going to continue when you dropped out? You didn't pass your goddamn baton. You threw it in the goddamn trash. You see, that's why Nipsey named, that's why the moniker of his clothing line is the marathon continues. Because what he did was he passed on the wealth of knowledge that he had down to his brothers, down to his people. He left a blueprint that black men could follow. That's what Nipsey did. So the marathon continues. How the marathon gonna continue when you throwing in the towel? Huh? See, Nipsey always knew, even when I die, the marathon continues. Even when I'm gone. Why you think Biggie's last album was Born Again? Because he already said it was life after death. Why? Because ain't no throwing in the towel. Because there's going to be somebody after me, and then somebody after him, and then somebody after him, and then somebody after him. Because there is no such thing as throwing in no towels. We don't do that. That's not what we do. If we did that, we won't have shit. We could have threw in the towel a long time ago with hip hop. Now, a lot of us don't like what's going on, but we're still here. We're still here. And there's more black millionaires in the game than it ever was right now. Because of other black men. Gucci Mane done made a lot of men millionaires. Black men, millionaires. Jay-Z done made a lot of black men millionaires. Millionaires. CEOP. That's the dude that's behind the Migos. He done made a lot of black men millionaires. Lil Wayne, plenty of millionaires. Birdman. These are black men. Are we forgetting? Are we forgetting that these are black men? Huh? These are black men who are doing this. They could have threw in the towel. Rick Ross don't got to sit on his Instagram and promote small businesses, small black-owned businesses. He don't have to do that shit. Why he do it? Because there's no such thing as throwing in a towel for black men. There's no such thing. If we stop, it all stops. Let me repeat that. If we stop, it all stops. There'll be no hip hop without us. Don't let people fool you with that shit. We're still the music behind the music. Don't forget. They could replace the performers, but who are the composers? Us. Us. So where do we get this throwing in the towel stuff? I told y'all months ago, nihilism is not for black men. That is not a black man's concept. Come on. And I'm not trying to get at anybody, but it's just the truth. Nihilism ain't start with us. We didn't create that. Shout out to Big Neff TV in the building. Salute. All good 87. What's going on? But we didn't create that. We're not nihilistic people. That's not who we are. That is not who we are. We believe in the future and we know it's one. You see? Ross told black boys sell dope for 14 years. So did the mafia. I like when people come in here and just, you know, I love it. Who Jay passing it to? You people crazy, man. But thanks for tuning in, all good. We appreciate you. We appreciate you over here. But we're going to wrap this show up. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Let me read what Queen of C said first. She said, the devil is a liar. I was a single parent raising 2 girls and 1 son. I didn't give my son that soft mess. I'm so glad my dad was there to teach him how to be a real man. My dad is still here with us. Double salute to your pops, Queen of C. Notice what she said. She was a single parent, but she had her dad to teach him how to be a real man. How did he do this? He gave that young man SOS. He taught him to value himself. You got to have a value system. And when you follow that system, young brother, it's going to keep you in order. You're going to be able to build things from this. See, that's what he taught. That's what he taught his grandson. Now, Queen of C, she says she grew up a single mom, and I'm not putting you on blast, Queen of C, but this is a perfect example of not throwing in the towel. Now, a lot of you dudes, I done heard a lot of you dudes get up here and say that y'all will abandon y'all daughter if she became a single mother. I done heard a lot of you dudes say this. But look at what happened when you don't abort the mission. He saved his grandson. He saved his grandson. That's what he did. Because there's no question in that man's mind, we not throwing in no towels. I don't know about throwing in no towels. And from how Queen of C shows so much respect to men, I could tell that when she made the mistake that she made, how many times she made them, I'm pretty sure her dad was pissed off. Like, girl, you know I ain't raised you like this. What are you doing? I'm pretty sure you disappointed your dad. But he knew. Don't throwing no goddamn towels. We men. We men. We men. And whenever I get the chance to fix it, I'ma fix it. And that's what he did. And that's what he did. That's what he did. He ain't stay mad at his daughter and say, well, I'm not going to be a grandpa because my daughter didn't listen to me. No. No. I'm a man first. My grandson ain't had nothing to do with what his mama decided to do. Yeah, I'm mad at his mama, but he not going to know that. He not going to know that. I'm going to show him I love him, and I'm going to take care of him, and I'm going to show him how to be a goddamn man, because that's my job. I watch my wife my father-in-law do this with my sons. Rest in peace to that man. I watched him do that. Some days he could barely walk. I watched this man struggle his way to the kitchen to fix his grandson something to eat. There's no throwing in the towel. We don't raise cowards. See, y'all want to be toughy and with each other. But what about the cause? See, I keep telling y'all, brothers, the toughest thing you're going to ever have to encounter is being a man and standing on some shit that's bigger than you. Can you stand on some shit that's bigger than you, that's gonna outlast your life? I come from that. That's where black men come from. The real ones. Throwing in no goddamn towels. You better throw me a towel. I'm sweating. Only place we throwing towels is in the hamper to get washed. That's it. Salute to the A-Game family. Salute to the A-Game nation, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning into today's show. That's a fact, Big Neff. You must forgive him and help him. That's a fact. Look what Queen of C said. Yes, he was sheep, but he stuck right there with me. Of course, that's what men do. That's what men do. Because women gonna be women. Y'all going to. And y'all gonna fuck up. See, men understand that. We understand that. We do. We do. So, brothers, get down in the comment section. Let me know, should we throw in the towel? Should we throw in the towel? I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Salute to the A-Game family. Once again, salute to the A-Game nation. Much love to all of the visionaries out there. I appreciate all the love and the support. Thanks to Queen of C again for hitting the super chat. Much love to you. Anybody who hit the Cash App, much love to you. If you enjoyed the show, donate to the show. Cash App $SheepStaySleepTV is where you can go. Cash App $SheepStaySleepTV is where you can go to donate to the show if you enjoyed the show. Much love. Salute to the visionaries. DS1 Ross, Sheep Stay Sleep TV. And remember, brothers, we are our own agency. We are our own agency. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
auditioning. Thug number 1, thug number 2, for slaves,
Prostitute.
There's always the hustle.
literate basketball players,
Mary had a little lamb.
The fog.
The only narrative that they understand of black life is drug addict, drug dealer, gang member.
I was the hottest black actor in the world after Boys and Nine. There were people clamoring to work with this young sensation. As long as he did the roles they wanted him to do, which were street kids.
I had been in this thing that is a masterpiece of American cinema, and nobody gave a shit. They really didn't give a fuck. I auditioned for my first pimp part. My mother's all proud. You know, be the best pimp you can be. The whole church is praying for me.
Let's pray that Brother Robert gets the role of Silky Good Dick. The film is called Holes on the Stroll. It sounds like a musical.
And then that's when the filmmaker was born. I said, man, we can't let Hollywood tell our stories. We got to tell our own stories, dude. They'll make us do anything and everything. And images travel around the world.
They have a perception of us that ultimately is false.
This show is sponsored, and this channel is sponsored by A-Game, a male herbal solution. A male herbal solution. Fellas, get down in the description box and join this A-Game lifestyle. This is a lifestyle promoting optimal health for us men. It's a lifestyle that promotes optimal health for us men. It is for our energy. It is for our vitality. It is for our strength. And it is for our libido. Fellas, join this A-Game lifestyle simply by clicking the link in the description box. And at your checkout, type in the promo code SHEEP and the number 10. That's SHEEP and the number 10. Get a discount off on your purchase.